Well, hello, welcome again to a reading through of Sophocles' Philoktetes, and I got up to this little short choral interlude. So normally at the end of a long speech, which we've just had, you normally have some comment from the chorus, normally one or two lines. This time we're getting, for variation, we're getting a choric interlude in place of that usual choral comment. And it's mirrored again later on in 507 following. So it's very short. I'll just do this bit fairly quickly. Again, it's in that Doric dialect, that pseudo-Doric dialect, so the alphas for eters all the way through. So Orestera gamboti ga. So this is gay, the earth, pamboti, all nourishing, Orestera, mountainous earth, all nourishing, mother of Zeus himself. Ha for hey, you who. Nemo is, you can just translate to live, but it really means to look after, to manage. So perhaps live as ruler over the great Pactolus. This is a river near Sardis. And it's Chruson, it's all golden. So you who live or have control over great Pactolus, the all golden, river, understood. Se kake, so this is Kai and Eke. Get this lined up here. Set kake. So lady mother. The main verb is here. This is for alpha. It's all augmented from ep audao and an for ain. So this is the imperfect middle. So I called upon you, or I cried out to you, lady mother, also there, when every insult, every act of hubris, et chore, something came or approached or came upon this man, and this is a Doric plural, so it's atre dan for own, so it's with an ablatival sense of from the sons of Atreus. When, and we get an odd, this is very poetry here. This little bit in the middle is a invocation, and it's stuck in between the rest of the clause here. So when they gave the paternal weapons, the weapons that belonged to his father, when they handed them over, and then we're going to jump down to here, to Laertes. And in apposition to this action, we have the highest sebas, the highest reverence, the highest form of honor. In the middle of that, we have Io, so O, blessed one who is sitting. This is a vocative. So her blessed one who sits upon. We have to understand something like the throne decorated with. This is bull slaying lions. It's fairly obscure. The commentators say it's probably a reference to the one who was seated upon, and it's genitive after the F in the F hedre. So understand a throne of bull slaying lions. So just to do that bit again quickly. So when they handed over his father's weapons to the son of Laertes, you've got to supply huio, the highest honor, Eor, O blessed one who sits upon the throne, decorated with lions bull slaying lions. Now Philoktetes then continues on with a short speech here. Ekontes hos ioike. Now the main verb is here. So, O strangers, you have come, so it seems, to us, having a clear token of grief. Literally, symbolon is a token, a clear token of grief. And lovely verb here, it's pros, and this little bit in here is from that verb aedo, to sing. It's in the middle here. And it's probably impersonal here. It is in harmony with me. In other words, it matches my experience of what's happened. So I also was treated very badly by these people, and he says it is in harmony with me. It could be ete. In fact, it's probably more likely actually to be, so you are in harmony also with me. So it should be, it'll be the epsilon's elided and then the tor is aspirated. So it's not impersonal, it's just you are in harmony with me, so that, and understand me, so that I know, so me to know, so that I know that these are the works from the hands of Atreus, from the hands of the sons of Atreus, and from Odysseus. That's a fairly difficult little bit there. Might do that again quickly. So, O strangers, you have come, so it seems, to us, having a clear token of grief, and you are in harmony with me, with the result that, or so that I understood, I know that these are the works from the sons of Atreus and from Odysseus. For I know him well. The ex oida, the ex emphasizes the oida. So for I know him well. Now, in apposition to nin for auton, we get thigonta. This is from thingano, if you're looking it up, meaning to touch, and it takes a genitive. And that's why we've got genitives here and here. So for I know him well, literally touching on, perhaps making use of, or even attempting by his tongue, or by his speech, we might say. So almost employing by his speech, and then with a genitive, and it goes with the an. For I know well that he would, by his speech, he would make use of all, of every evil logos, every evil plan, perhaps, and every act of wickedness, from which, this is agreeing back with the noun here, from which he would be optative, he would be about to do, poein for poiein, because he wants a short syllable here, but it's poein for poiein, to bring to completion nothing just. So again, slightly tricky here, I'll quickly do that again. For I know him that he would put his hand to, by his speech, every evil plan and act of wickedness, by which he might be about to bring to completion nothing just. Al u titu tothalm emoige, but in fact this is not in any way an amazing thing to me, so I'm not in any way surprised at this. But understand, I am surprised that Ajax, the greater one, there are two Ajaxes, that the greater Ajax, if he were present, seeing these things, eneketo, put up with it, endured it. Now this is from an echo in the middle, anekomai, to endure. You'll notice we get double augment. So this happens with a lot of verbs compounded with ana. So anoigo, to open, which was originally ana plus oigo, or oignumi, or one of those compounds. It also gets funny augments on it as well. So this is a double augment. It is from ana plus echo with a double augment. So I'm not surprised at Odysseus, but I would be surprised if the greater Ajax, if he saw these things and he was present, would put up with it. Ukein etitson, O stranger. He was no longer, understand at that time, he was no longer alive. For, now genitive absolute, if in fact, with the get, if in fact that man was alive at that time, I would not have been robbed, aorist passive from sulao, I would not have been robbed of these things. Pos epas, what are you saying? But is this man, now oikomai is used, generally often used of someone who is meant to depart, but it's like our expression that the dear departed means they're dead. So it's, but is this man, well, one of the dead departed, we could say in English, has gone, having died. Hos make it on to ekan en fa a. Now, not a is an imperative from not eo, so it's not e and then contracted. So understand that this man is no longer being in the light. In other words, you know that this guy is no longer alive. Oi moi talas, oh alas, wretched. Al uk Tydeus genus, but not the offspring of Tydeus. Now this, of course, is Diomedes, whom Philoktetes also appears to dislike. So, so he's dead, but not the son, not the offspring of Tydeus, nor. Now this is hot plus empoletos. Empolios to buy, and so it's literally the one bought. So Sisyphu, I think, is this, but not the son of Sisyphus, the one who was bought by Laertes. They wouldn't die, with ume plus the subjunctive. For it was not necessary for these men even to live. In other words, it would have been better had they not lived. Now, what's the business here with Laertes and Sisyphus? Well, I mentioned before that Philoktetes always describes Odysseus as the son of Sisyphus, but in the Odyssey we know him as the son of Laertes. And one of the myths and stories is that Anticlea, the mother, was said to have been pregnant when Laertes married her. In other words, she was pregnant to Sisyphus and then got married off to Laertes. The fact that he mentioned this being bought might imply that there was a large bride price involved as well, so it's fairly cryptic here. So he says they wouldn't die, it was not necessary for these men even to live. Udate, no indeed. Episto tuto get. In fact, know this. This is imperative. This is from epistemi. Alakai megathalontes, but also these men are flourishing, blooming literally, so flourishing greatly now, in the army of the Argives, so perhaps among the army of the Argives. Tide, what then? Now there's a variant reading here. The ood is put in square brackets here. Possibly it's a question where he's meaning surely not. So it's literally is, if we ignore this bit here, the ude, and just take it as is Nestor the Pylian, the ancient and good friend, my ancient and good friend, is he alive? Estin's often used in the sense of to be alive. So is my ancient and good friend Nestor the Pylian still alive? Houtos gar tage, for this man in fact, and hold the te, for this man in fact, Canaan kak ex aeroke, he would have, what have I got a little note there to myself, to have kept check on, so he would have prevented, the tat goes with the kaka, the evils of these men. So he would have kept check on, so he would have, from X and a ruko, and the X just strengthens it, he would have prevented or held back the evil deeds of these men. Buluon Sopha, giving wise advice, literally advising wise things. Kainos geprese nun kakos. So Neoptolemos says, in fact, this man now fares badly, since Antilochus, who was present as his son, so who was the son that was present with him, is gone for him, having died. So he paraphrased it a little bit. So he now, in fact, fares badly, since Antilochus, his son, who was with him, has now passed on dead. Oimoi, do our toad ex edexas, hoin ego heikistan etheles ola lottoin cluane. So we get some duals here. The todi is duals, is accusative. So you have made plain, you have revealed, understand the truth of the story of these two men. So moreover, you have revealed the story of these two men. Now we get two genitive duals here. Of whom, having died, so of whose death I would wish to hear least of all. So heikista adverbial. So you have revealed these two men, whose deaths I would have wished to hear least of all. Few, alas, alas, tidata de Scopain. Now, Scopain, the commentators, presumably the ancient scholiasts, say here that this is equivalent here in this passage to prosdokan, to expect. So that's all I can say about it. It's a very rare use, apparently, of Scopio in place of prosdokan. So you need to look at the commentators on that one. So what then is it necessary to expect? What should I then expect? Hoth for hote, when these men on the one hand are dead, but Odysseus, moreover, kantartha hina, kai entartha hina, something like in this case also, where it was necessary for him to be heard of as a corpse in place of them, literally. So these men have died, but Odysseus is alive. For the Estin, Odysseus is alive in a situation where it was necessary for him to be called a corpse in rather than them, in place of them. Sophos palaistes kanos. Palaistes, literally a boxer, or sorry, a wrestler, I should say, a wrestler. So this man is a clever wrestler. The LSJ here says that it can also mean adversary, quotes this passage. So this man is a clever adversary, but the clever opinions, Philoktetes, empodidzontai thama. Thama adverbial, frequently empodidzontai are thwarted. Literally have something put in front of their feet so they stumble. So it generally translated are thwarted. So clever opinions, Philoktetes, frequently are thwarted. But come by the gods, where was Patroclus at that there for you? He who was literally the most dearest thing, it's in neuter, of your father. Hutos, so also this man was dead. This man was also dead when all this happened. We get a periphrastic use here. Sophocles is quite fond of this, to use the verb to be with a participle. So this man was, understand at that time, dead. I will teach, I will explain, ek plus didasko, I will explain this, I will teach you this, it takes double accusative, in a short word. So for war, willingly, so a war willingly takes no wicked man, but always those who are the most noble, those who are noble. So war never takes a wicked man, if it can, so willing. It's a participle, but you've got to translate it in English as an adverb. So war never willingly takes no wicked man, but always the best. And I'll pause there and we'll continue this in the next recording.